Hello and welcome. I'm Sue Willoughby, your host for A Life Worth Being. Before we get rolling, I have a question for you. Have you been feeling a bit lost or unfulfilled lately? What if this new chapter of your life isn't a crisis, but a chance to rediscover your passions and create a life that truly lights you up? Well, I am introducing a 5-part email series called Midlife Makeover. It's a 5-day challenge to ditch the crisis and reclaim your life. So if you're interested in this, please check out the show notes below. And there's a link down there where you can subscribe to this 5-day email series, and it will help you change your life. 5 easy days. What more could you ask for? All right. So back to today's episode. Today, we're actually traveling to Costa Rica. Okay. Well, let me put it to you this way. I'm not traveling to Costa Rica, but my guest is already in Costa Rica, which is pretty cool. I wish I could be there in person, but I can't do every show in person. Anyway, this is an experiential conversation with Audrye Arbe. She was born a mystic intuitive, and now at 82 years old, she's still an active clairvoyant, healer, and ever-evolving being, choosing to be well in every way that she can. So pop in your earbuds and open your mind as we explore the mystical world of Audrye Arbe, complete with sounds of tropical birds. I kid you not. All right, let's get on with the show. Alrighty, it is time to stop hitting snooze and awaken to a life worth being, the fun and inspiring podcast that dives deep into what makes life truly fulfilling. I'm your host, Sue Willoughby, a self-proclaimed badass transformational life coach for women over 40. Join me as I explore the extraordinary journeys of ordinary people who've transformed their lives from the inside out. Tune in weekly to uncover the secrets to smashing through your perceived limits and creating a life that's not just well lived, but totally worth being. Hello, and welcome to another fun episode of A Life Worth Being. Today, my guest is Audrye Arbe. She is currently in Costa Rica, originally from New York, and you might detect a little bit of that from her leftover New York accent. I'm from New York as well, but upstate. So Audrye is very interesting. She was born a mystic intuitive. She's now a clairvoyant, healer, and ever-evolving being, which I love. I think that we all need to be ever-evolving, hence the name of my podcast, A Life Worth Being. And if you're not being a part of your life, then you're just living it, and you're letting it take over. She chooses to be very well in every way that she can. She's an award-winning artist and author, and she's now painting frequency stones. So she can make you a custom frequency stone that can be shipped directly to you. And these stones bring beauty that up-levels your brain and body wiring, as well as brings a smile to your face. Audrye, thank you so much for being here today, all the way from Costa Rica. I love it, I love it, I love it.
Thank you so much for having me. This is just lovely. Thank you.
We're just gonna roll with the tech, and whatever happens, happens. You're here for the duration, so we're all good. We're all good.
Yes, we're here. That's like yay.
So you say that you were born a mystic intuitive. How, how did you know? I mean, what was it that, well, I think a lot of us have, when we're kids, we have this intuitive nature, right? And I think that it gets talked out of us, it gets, shamed out of us, it gets whatever. But you chose to embrace it. Did you ever tuck it away? So let's just go back to my original question, because I'm question stacking right now and I want to know everything.
Okay.
But how did you know that you were an intuitive being and a mystic?
Well, first I was able to sense stuff and feel stuff. So I thought everybody could. I still think everybody can, by the way.
Yeah.
And there's no way I could throw it to the side. And I always wanted to know why this, why that, why the other. Like if some kids say, "Why is the sky blue?" and they go, blah, 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 I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not the scientist or the physicist that some people are. I'm the metaphysicist. I look at it from another level.
Hmm.
And I remember when I was 10, I'm the firstborn of three. And I saw that some of my mother's behavior with my brother, who's 5 years my junior,
Mm-hmm.
was what I would call not erratic. Like he might do a certain behavior on one day and she would treat it in a particular way. He might do that same kind of behavior another day and she would respond in a completely different way. And I saw confusion because I can feel and see that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So, in my zeal to be helpful, I'm born under the sun sign of Cancer, and that's one of the things that generally we do like to do is be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I told this to my mom in a loving way. So she
At
said,
the
"What
age
do
of
I
10,
know?"
right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, at the age of 10. And she, what word would we use? The word, but she said, "What could I possibly know? I'm only 10, blah,
Mm.
blah, blah, blah." So she gave me that kind of response. And there's a word for it that's not quite coming to my mind. And I saw right away that I knew, and this isn't arrogance, I knew I was right because I am what I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't ego, it was obvious. Okay. She just did not want to see that. So I learned young that, and I don't know that it permeated young, but I learned not everybody wants to really grow and develop. Not
Mm.
everybody wants to see options. Not
Yes.
everybody wants to see a bigger picture, that this might be their picture and that's it, and that's what they're going to see. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying it can't happen with me, but I would ask these questions and I would see things about the world and I would sense things. I could feel or sense what somebody, not what they're thinking exactly, but what's going on in them.
Mm.
And this is normal for me.
Mm.
I'm an empath. I have all these words now I can throw out and sound so intellectual about it. Um, but it is part of how I'm made. And I learned to cultivate it. I didn't always want to. I mean, I
Yeah. I
remember
was wondering about
I
that.
forget what grade I was in. Whatever grade it is when kids start studying about war,
Mm.
whether it was
I don't know.
junior high or whatever it was, I was sitting in the class and feeling what was happening on that battlefield,
Wow.
which I'm glad didn't happen all the time. I had to hide my face because I was crying,
Mm.
and I didn't know how people could do this. I
Yeah.
didn't even know how people can just talk about it like it's nothing, and I'm okay.
Yeah. So you
So
were
I was
actually like you were there and you were feeling it. That's like a super
some
empath,
of it,
right? Yeah.
some of
Wow.
it. Luckily, it doesn't happen all the time, or I don't think I could live in this world. But that could be another reason I'm in Costa Rica. I mean, where I am right now, my particular area where I'm living right now, it's quiet.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes for me, I mean, I am originally from New York, so I'm used to like, yeah. And I
Big
moved to
energy.
Florida. Well, yeah, there's always something to do. I mean, we're talking Manhattan, not like someone says New York. I don't mean Albany, I mean New York, okay? Typical, I mean, the
Right.
city. Um, and there's always something to do at any hour of the day or night, always.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's not the case. And I don't always want to do what other people are doing.
So, it's interesting. You talked about during those times when you get those extreme, hits and you feel like it's happening to you or that you're actually
Yeah.
there. How do you deal with that?
Well, at the time, I kind of pulled away from reading some of it because I was in a
Mhm.
class, and I may have discussed it later with the teacher because this
Mm.
was not conversation. I'm in my 80s. This was not conversation at that time. Now it's conversation,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
But I was not in my 80s then. I was a kid in school,
Uh-huh.
either middle school or whatever it was. I don't think it was high school, so it might have been whatever it was.
Mhm.
And I had to learn, what would they call it now? Self, not medicate, because I didn't take medication, but
Yeah.
like self heal and do
Regulate,
stuff for
sort of.
myself. Yeah, talk to myself, breathe.
Mm.
And I understood that just he had to learn
Yeah.
how to stick up for myself. It took years,
I was just
years.
going to say that's a lot to process when you're young, and knowing that in your being and in your heart of hearts, what you are sensing and feeling and experiencing is very real. And like you said, I know I was right with this, scenario with your brother and your mom, uh and then trying to convey that in a way that's not, like you said, off-putting or whatever, is difficult. And because you're a kid, and that's, I think, what I was saying initially, is that we all have intuitive abilities, but we don't trust them. And I think many other people, when confronted in those situations, would be like, okay, yeah, that is a weird thing. I guess I am wrong, or I guess I am not, supposed to be experiencing or feeling these things, right? So they just don't pursue it anymore. But you didn't. I mean, you kept going, and here you are at 82,
Too.
right? I think you said, yeah. Um, so tell me a little bit about what you do as a intuitive and as a mystic.
I do readings. I
Okay.
love that. I love my clients. I mean, and anyone who wants to be a client, by the way, you can be a client. It doesn't matter that I'm in Costa Rica because we
She's got
do it
tech.
over the phone.
She's got her tech going. She's good.
Yes. So when I do readings, all I need from the person is their name and their birthday. I close my eyes. I lift my frequency, which I do through a process of breathing and intention and a few other things like that, which we could do a breathing attunement while we're doing this. And I get information.
Okay.
And then I'll say whatever it is. But first, I'll get like a slew of information.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes it happens quickly. So I have to speak a little bit quickly so I can get it out before the next thing happens. Sometimes a little slower. And then after a period of time, then I'll ask the person, did you understand this or did it mean something for you? And they usually say yes. Or they'll
Hmm.
ask about something. Then they could ask questions about whatever. And I'll
Gotcha.
feel it, see it, sense it. Now and then it's fuzzy. So I'll say it feels like this or that. Now and then it's extremely clear. And I'll say this is extremely clear and say whatever it is.
Hmm.
And now and then, if it's very emotional, I can get the emotion sometimes
Mm.
more than the client because some people are not in touch with their emotions.
Yeah.
And then if I'm getting their emotions, and y'all know because tears become, I'll say, these are your tears. This is
Wow.
your sadness that it's coming through me, and I can't stop it. I have to let it come, and then
Yeah.
clear my eyes so I can do the reading, and all of that. But that's part of how I do it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
here in Costa Rica, which my Spanish is so, it's not great. My English is excellent. I'm an artist, and I thought, so what am I going to paint here? I didn't have like space to put up a big easel. I was painting 5 foot by 4 foot paintings.
Wow.
They're in galleries. People can buy them. They're available. They're in Florida.
All
Yeah,
right.
they're gorgeous. They are gorgeous. They're really beautiful. And so I thought, okay, so what's available here? What's natural? Because I'm very attuned with the planet. I've been ecologically attuned for years. This is not new for me.
Hmm.
It amazes me that some people aren't. I get that, okay, but it's like, meh. And so I thought I'll paint. The guides told me paint rocks. I thought, oh, paint rocks, like it's normal. So I'm painting rocks. I have little tiny rocks. I have medium. I have these are my medium sized rocks.
And for those of you who are just listening in the car or wherever, she's holding up a frequency rock, I guess, right? Is that a frequency
I
rock?
call them frequency stones,
Or frequency
and
stone?
they all have crystal on them.
Oh,
And
okay.
because I like texture,
Hmm.
I am someone who likes texture. So I make them, I'll put a paint, I
Yeah,
play with them.
they are very textural. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, when you're making one of those, do you make them specifically for a person, or can or like if someone wants to buy one of your frequency stones or attain one, do you just know which one fits them, or do you create a new one for each person?
Well, it takes a moment or two to paint them,
Yes,
okay,
yes, I can tell.
because the paint has to dry. I have painted some for particular people
Hmm.
that wanted this or that color. For his birthday, my grandson wants one, and he told me his favorite colors. And so I tweaked one that I already have so I can get it to him.
When you said
One,
it's a frequency stone, what is
yes,
the significance of it, and
okay.
how is that frequency part of the piece?
I put crystals on them after I've done painting them,
Hmm.
and there's a way to program crystals.
Okay.
Part of it is first you clean the rock, you clean yourself, okay, and you one will focus the energy or the vibration they want that stone to have. Now these stones
Ah.
live with me, okay? They're in the
Mhm.
studio. I have shelves, okay? I
Uh-huh.
meditate and lift my energy every single day. So they're immersed in that. There's a lot going on in the world that I don't need to know everything, believe me, but I can tune in and feel. And I have chosen to live in peace, to live in beauty, to bring peace, beauty, prosperity, wellness to myself and the world. Since I'm a little kid, the guidance I got, and I've always received guidance,
Mhm.
is that I'm here. This is the way it was phrased when I was a little kid. I'm here to make things better. And
Oh.
someone can say, well, everyone is. Okay, that's fine. I was literally told that by the
Uh-huh.
guides, okay, and felt it. Now I can use fancy terms like I could uplift frequency. So when I paint, before I paint, I meditate, I lift my frequency. I always want to paint something that's going to bring peace, joy, excitement, something like that. I
Mm.
cannot paint if I'm upset. My sister passed away in July. All I could do was mourn. I couldn't paint for a while.
Yeah. Wow.
I just started a couple days ago, and
Mm.
we are in September.
Yes.
Again, I was not able to at all, no matter how I lifted my. I was crying, I was mourning, I was going through whatever,
Mm.
whatever, whatever. And so that energy that I bring to the stone is there. And because people can program crystals, and on my website, if you find where it says art frequency stones, it's written how to program a crystal.
Oh, cool.
So
I'll check
you
it
could
out.
do,
Sure.
yeah, you can do whatever you want it to be. That doesn't mean if you program it for prosperity and you have a crystal stone, all of a sudden XXX amount of money is going to come flying to you. That's not, so
Right.
I don't want you calling me and going, so I didn't make my $7 million yet. No, what it means is you're opening your energy to allow it to happen.
Right.
And what some people don't know is when you have beauty, when you look at beauty, it changes your own vibration. It changes
Mhm.
the wiring in the brain. It changes the wiring in the heart. And the heart is stronger than the brain, by the way. There's actually a brain in the heart
Yes, there
um,
is.
that is stronger than the brain in the head, and it will tell the head what to do. And that's actually important because the heart is about feelings. And
Yeah.
these stones, from tiny, this tiny, to others that are this big, I need both hands to
Wow.
lift them. Bigger than that, I don't paint because I can't lift them.
Right. Never mind ship them anywhere.
I was really concerned about being able to ship anything anywhere because I thought it would be so expensive, it would prohibit the possibility.
Mm.
I have to laugh because the post office, okay, I have to say this respectfully. So when I first saw the post office, what it first looked like to my eyes, not yet being accommodated to Costa Rica and
Mhm.
where I live, it was like an old time post office in an old Western
I love it.
with
Yeah.
like those boxes and the window with the screen and all
Uh-huh.
that.
I love the energy and the crystals and the rocks and all of that. I have crystals in my house as well. Let's talk a little bit about the genetic karmic
Oh,
patterning.
GKP. Okay. The guides gave me that
GKP.
term. I call it GKP,
Yeah.
genetic karmic patterning. They gave me that some while ago when I was writing something, and they told me that when a human being or anything, okay, let's just say people, when
Who
a
is
person a
who is
person
they?
is born, the guides,
Okay.
they I
Just
get it intuitively, and
okay.
some now and then I've actually heard the voice.
Okay.
And when I've heard, I'm like, where? And I don't know what I would do if I actually saw something. I would probably be beyond freaked out. But now and then it's literally a voice, and I'm
Okay.
looking to see where it came from.
Okay. So
But I was directed to understand that when a person is born, we not only get whatever physical characteristics, more or less, our parents may have or have had,
mhm,
we can pick up on it. It is put into us some of their intentions, some of their belief systems,
mhm.
some of any of that stuff. And not just from our parents, from the whole genetic lines going back wherever. Plus, which we've not only been people, we have incarnated on other planets, we've been on other timelines, we've been any number of different, whatever it is we may have been,
Hmm.
whether you look at it as different timelines or it all happens now at the same time, or quantum. I'm not going to get into the physics of that. I am a
That's a whole nother
metaphysician
show. Yeah, that's a
rather
whole.
than, yeah, but I know it all happens because when I look at the other side, because people ask me to tune on whomever, whatever, I
Mm-hmm.
see it that time happens like this.
Yeah.
So it's either all at the same time, which if they showed me, I couldn't see anything because our minds don't work like that,
No, we don't.
but it
We're very
happens at different levels.
linear.
So I get shown that in a way that me, with my mind, can really see. But the
Okay.
genetic karmic patterning, if we don't become aware of what some of it is and refuse to do any healing work on it, we're going to do the same thing,
Yeah,
whether
that's
it's a
what I was
belief
kind of
system, a way of
thinking about. Like,
thinking.
can we reprogram that?
Yes,
G.
yes. First, you have to become aware. Remember, I'm an energy
G.
healer. I
Okay.
literally am.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I have all kind of words. Okay, so fancy words. I'm a light channel. I was on somebody else's show who does light language, and
Mm.
she said I do it all the time just by what I do. Which did I know that? No, I didn't know that. That wouldn't have been. But it's part of what it is. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and so if somebody has whatever it is, and I'll tune in and I'll be able to see and we'll talk. And yes, I can do it long distance. It's called long distance healing or absent healing. You don't have to be right in front of me. I've been doing this for years. Okay, it still works. And then we work on that.
Hmm.
And can it be emotional? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it can. But then by the time the session is complete, the person will be left in a place of peace. That's my integrity as a healer. Okay, that I guarantee. Okay, I don't leave somebody in the midst of
Right.
that.
We don't
That's a
want to
no.
open a wound and then just be like,
No,
okay, we're done here. Time's up.
no,
Let's go.
no. That is such a no.
It's like,
Okay,
the person is
and the
just
guides wouldn't
devastated.
allow it. The
Yeah.
guides wouldn't allow it. The guides would help complete whatever needs to be completed. Now and then, if the session needs to go a little longer, it will. I don't normally do that, but if now and then that's what has to happen, then that's what has to happen. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, that stuff can be shifted. In fact, it's necessary to be shifted. Look at the earth right now.
Mm-hmm.
Look at some of the belief systems that you yourself, you, Sue, or anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do I want to share this? I will share a little bit. When my sister passed,
Okay.
I I had to clear, in fact, even before that, some of the thoughts and feelings I had within myself because for a long time I'd been telling her something about her health.
Mm.
Didn't want to hear. She yelled at me, something I'm not too fond of. So I had to clear all that stuff and make peace with it because I love my sister. I'm not happy she passed, but I also have had a near death experience my own self.
Mm-hmm.
So I have talked to the shiny light beings. It is the most amazing, surreal thing to be in that environment. I did not die, I'm here, but
Right.
near
Yeah,
death.
yes.
Okay.
We're
And
having a
so
conversation.
I've been in that realm. And if you see tears now, these are happy tears because that is so astounding. So I knew no matter what, she was okay. Do I know that? I do. Does that mean I'm rushing to my own completion? No, it does not. I have a lot more to be and do and
I was just going to
experience.
say you have a lot more to do and and bring to the world.
Thank you. And I would like to. Okay.
And we
So
want you to. We want you to.
thank you. So I'm here. Greg Braden said he's on a 200-year plan. I thought, okay, I could go with that. Yeah. And the
That's all.
guys have shown me we don't have to be passing at the ages we are passing.
Yeah. I think if we take care of ourselves, and you mentioned about being well and being, and wellness is a big focus
It
for
is.
you, being centered and well,
It
and
is.
bringing those things into your life so that you can have the longevity that for 82, you're very spunky.
That's that Aries
I
ascendant.
feel your spunky energy.
I do have that. There's no question about it.
Yeah,
I'm
and you
also
mentioned
very sweet and peaceful, but yeah, you don't want to mess with me if I'm that. That's a
right.
good idea.
Yeah, you got some energy there, girl. I can tell.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've learned how to stand up for myself. Listen, at my tallest, I was 5 foot and half an inch.
oh, and a half.
What
That
is
was on
an
a good
inch?
day, right? And
Yes, okay. Now I'm 4 foot 10. 4 foot 10. Okay. People, oh,
yeah.
she's so cute. Okay.
Don't mess with her though. She's
And no, and I'm, sweet, but you don't want to. So I
right.
have this ongoing uplifting my own frequency
Mm-hmm.
to move forward and clearing any of that other stuff while acknowledging how anything has been of service to me, how I've learned from it. So what I'm doing with my own self is as I do my meditations, I'm going in and sending light around my telomeres and the telomeres are the ends of the cells that sort of
Mm.
look like the end of a shoelace.
Okay.
And to stay young, you want them to be healthy and long and not like short and frazzled and cut off because somehow that makes somebody older. I don't know the medical part of it. So,
Okay.
so I'm doing what I'm guided to do to help my own self with that because I do want to be here a really long time. I've got a lot, Bird. I've got a lot to do and I want to enjoy it. I don't want to be here a long time in hideous health. That is to be able to enjoy and do and move forward and be part of the amazing shifts that are in the process of happening on our planet. I mean, we have the outer planets all changing signs within 3 years. That's going to be so interesting to be a part of. OMG.
Oh, I love your outlook and your and that you're just, taking care of yourself. And I think, as we sort of wrap things up here, what can someone do to begin to raise their own like
Ah,
vibration level? What can we do? Is there something that,
yes.
I mean, I'm familiar with raising your vibration and all that stuff, but for people that are listening that may not understand that, yeah, you can change things, you can change that trajectory, you can raise your vibration level and the vibration of those around you.
Yes. So I'm going to do a breathing attunement.
Okay,
It's somewhere in my website. It might be on the lead page.
that's okay.
Okay. It's called The Lifting Process. I learned it from Patricia Hayes, different than Louise Hay. So basically, I'm going to explain what I'm going to do,
Okay.
and then I'm going to do it.
During the following segment, Audrey took me through a guided energy attunement exercise. This segment is available as a separate bonus for you to enjoy when you are able to safely and quietly enjoy the benefits of a guided meditation.
Now, when you feel ready, and only when you feel ready, you may begin to speak. And I will ask, how do you feel? How are you?
I feel great. I feel really warm.
Okay.
I feel like I feel very calm and grounded. Um, I do. I did feel very light. I was like, oh, I love it. I feel like I vibrate at a pretty decent frequency on a regular basis, but I do
Yeah.
think that it's good to, because we do all have moments when, we don't feel like we're vibrating, or, or we're around people that are also, their energy is very heavy and very toxic sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think, I do, cleansing to shed that toxic energy whenever I'm
Good.
around
Good.
it. But yeah, thank you for that. That was lovely. That was a really
You're
lovely
welcome.
too.
People, I recommend doing this every day.
Yeah.
Please don't wait till some kind of an emergency and pull it out. No, do it every day, because slowly, 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 one's energy gets higher, higher, till that becomes one's norm. I don't mean we're floating loose, okay?
Yeah.
Although I wonder occasionally. Um, but no, it becomes our go to. Our norm is centered. My norm was not centered. I'm very this, I was very that, but my norm is now centered, which is a huge thing, okay? And that's needed on the earth now. But
Yeah.
if when there's something particularly important or what might seem taxing, definitely do this first. I do this before I'm on anybody's podcast all the time
I think it's
to
good.
put
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
in the yes, because I want to bring the best of whatever I might be to whomever it is that's watching or listening, and to you. I mean, I respect this, and because I really do feel, no question, that part of why I'm on the earth is to up level frequency. So it just makes sense for me to bring the best frequency I have at any given moment to do that, and I want to. I desire that.
Yes.
So thank you. This
Yes.
is
Thank you
fun.
so much, Audrey. I love your energy, and I love your being, and you're an always evolving being. And I really appreciate everything that you've brought to this episode.
Thank
And
you.
for everyone who's listening, take time for yourself and take time to honor your being and to raise your vibration so that together we will raise the vibration of the planet and beyond
Yeah.
into the universe. So thank you so much. This has been a lovely, calming, exciting, and fun episode. So thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
being here, Audrey. I really appreciate it.
Ditto. Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Life Worth Being. I hope you found it fun and inspiring. And to avoid a bad case of FOMO, please be sure to click that subscribe button. If you love what you heard today, please share it with a friend and then hop on over to your favorite podcast platform and return the love with a wonderful review and 5-star rating. It would truly mean the world to me. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and on my website. Links below in the show notes. I appreciate you, and I will see you next week for more fresh insights on awakening a life worth being.